and I work for Texas Outdoor Power Equipment. We represent several states for the Scag commercial mowers. I live here in Mississippi and cover the whole state, calling on independent dealers and also doing demos for independent contractors. I brought out a Tiger Cat 2 52-inch and also a V-Ride, our stand-on 48-inch. We're going to get Anthony here. We're going to give him a couple lessons on how to drive them and let him cut some grass and answer any questions he may have.
Can you give me the pros and cons of the V-Ride and the zero turn?
You talking about comparing them to each other?
Right.
Well, of course, the obvious situation on the zero turn is you can sit down if you're covering more. You get a little bit more ground speed here versus a V-Ride, and you can get the zero turns come in all different sizes. You can get 48-inch 52s or 61s, and it's the same with the V-Ride. The V-Ride, the pros that you got is if you've got a multi-man crew, is you can load several of these mowers up compared to just a couple of these on a 16-foot trailer. You can raise the platform up, put it on a trailer, and you got 3 or 4 mowers on one 16-foot trailer. You can get it and go. We make this machine in a 36, so you got some access to gates where you wouldn't in the big zero-turn Tiger Cats.
Which one do you prefer?
I like both of them. Both of them have their place. Personally, my own place, I cut 4 acres. I use a zero turn.
So you like to sit down?
I like to sit down.
Right. Tell us some of the features of both these lawnmowers.
We'll start with the Tiger Cat 2.
Okay.
One of the biggest features that Scag offers in our commercial mowers is our Velocity Plus deck. If you've cutting wet grass or if you've got a lot of Bahia, our deck's going to cut it better than anybody else's out there. It's not going to leave you standing stick-ups like a lot of the others will. Several of the comfort features that we offer is we've got a suspension seat that's mounted on 4 rubber mounts that gives you a better ride. You can adjust it. You've got your bolt-on front yokes here. Something happens, you have an accident, you hit something too hard and say you bend this yoke. With ours, instead of having to weld the frame and straighten it, you unbolt it and you put a new one on.
Okay.
We run a cast iron with a tapered bearing serviceable spindles. That way you can grease them and which give you longer life in your bearings. Also on your deck, we run a heavier spring Kevlar belts on all our Velocity decks. One thing that we do, and we do this on all Scags, is we run heavier all metal pulleys. We run a heavier idler arm where a lot of guys are running small thin ones. You can't really see it on this deck, but we got what we call a tri-plate system in our deck to where it takes the beating. Okay. You've got nearly a 1/2 inch steel in the heart of your deck.
Okay.
We got a larger opening in our discharge here, which helps you in that wet grass we was talking about a while ago.
Right.
We run our own blades. We got a Marbine coated blade, which gives you your sharpening lasts a lot longer. And we got a 4-point deck adjustment system. If something happens, your deck ever gets out, your dealership that you buy it from can adjust your deck and get it back level a lot easier. Also on the deck, we run a solid caster anti-scout wheels.
Okay.
And you can also replace these if you ever hit them and bend them, or you can adjust them if you need to.
Okay. So that actually, I always wonder what those were. So that actually, what it does is if the ground is uneven, one of those wheels catch and lift the.
Yeah, it keeps it from digging in.
Okay.
You really don't ever want these hardly to ever be rolling while you're cutting.
Okay.
You want them kind of just great. Is our Tiger Eye system. And what this is just a monitoring system. It gives you your engine hours. As you can tell, mine is due to get serviced now. It just come on, and it's got a little exclamation mark here, I guess is what that is. That lets me know it's time for the oil change. You got a voltage regulation here, and if you had a liquid cooled you would have a heat. It would be plugged up where you could tell your engine temp. But also you could buy an extra accessory where you can plug in your air filter into this module, and it'll tell you when it's time to change your air filter.
Okay.
One of the biggest features of it, I don't know if you can see it, is these 4 lights. There's actually only 3 on, but that tells you that your safety features, it's ready to crank when all 4 of them are on.
Okay.
But as soon, you know, if you get on it won't crank or something, and you look and you see your PTO light ain't on, well, it's probably engaged. You just push it down, it'll start back up, it'll crank for you. But
all right.
you get to the V-Ride, and it is our stand-on unit. It runs the same as we went through the deck. This one's a 48-inch, but it's got the same velocity deck. It's a little compact machine versus a zero turn. Got your heavy-duty springs. One thing you can do from here is you can lower your deck from right here. On some other brands, you have to get off of it and manually lower it. Well, from up here, you can do it.
Okay.
From your platform.
Okay.
Platform has 2 large springs here to help with your comfort of your ride. It's got 2 areas here to tie it down on your trailer. And one good thing about ours compared to a lot of other stand-ons is if you need to, you can raise that up and operate it as a walk-behind.
That's cool.
And also another thing that does it, when you fold it up, it takes up less room on your trailer where you can put multiple units on it versus 2 zero turns, you can put 3 or 4 of the stand-on.
Okay. Pricing.
They're both of them are real close. The zero turn here, this 52-inch, you're looking at $85.99. This one here is $75.99.
$75.99.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you're looking at about $1,000 difference.
Okay, so like financing.
Right now, Scag has 0 for 48 months. Of course, you got to have decent credit.
Decent credit.
To qualify, depending on your score.
Okay.
And there's several different options, and it's out there.
Okay, top speed on both of these.
Top speed on the zero turn on this one here is 12 miles an hour.
12.
12.
Wow. Okay.
Very few properties that you can cut at 12 miles per hour. But it does have a good top speed. And working in this neighborhood is an excellent opportunity, because you may cut this grass and you may have one down the road and you can put it in gear and you can go. The V-Ride, it's about an 8 mile an hour, 8 to 9.
8 to 9 mile an hour.
And once again, very few properties you can stay on the road. But the good thing about the velocity deck, if you can, it will cut it in half.
Okay.
All right, before we get started, it's got those safety features. Okay. To crank it, your handles have to be out. Your parking brake has to be on. This is a foot assist parking brake. Okay. You press it down, it'll relieve it. This will come back.
Okay, so you press this down.
Yeah, go ahead and press it out there. And see it come off. Okay. And then when you get ready to put the brake back on, press it, and then you pull your handle back. Let off of it. There you go. Okay, so. Hold that handle back. Oh, that's it. This is where you raise and lower your deck, your foot. Okay, right now it's in transport mode, which is up high. Okay. Press it down and go ahead and press it. You got another lever here. So which way you go, forward or back? Back. Now just kind of ease it back and it goes to where you got it. Okay. And then when you get ready to push it up, you just push it all the way up and it'll kick. Okay. Alright, of course it's warm, so we're not going to have to choke it. This is your throttle. I'm going to crank it and then I'm going to throttle it down where you can hear what I'm doing. Alright. Go ahead and release your brake. gas it back up.
Man, I'm having a great time. This is the first time I'm on the zero turn. First time I'm able to sit down and cut grass. Now I know what it feels like, and I love it. I also love the speed on this thing. He said it goes 12 miles an hour. I don't think I got it up that fast, but this thing covers a lot of ground quickly. Is much faster than the belt driven, for sure. I love the idea that it has the wider grass chute, and it also has the new baffler system, which allows the grass to flow under deck freely. It cuts over that Behalia grass. You don't have any stragglers, which means you don't have to double cut. And that is a big deal in lawn care. Also, you don't have to worry about when do I need to change my oil, when do I need to change my air filter, when do I need to turn it in to be maintenance. The Tiger Eye monitoring system will let you know all of that. You don't have to worry about it. I remember I always used to wonder, when do I need to change my oil, how many hours, and all that type of stuff. The Tiger Eye monitoring system reminds you of all of that. Alright guys, this is the Scag V-Ride. It's a standard. It can also be used as the walk behind. It's just like if a zero turn and a walk behind had a baby. This is what it looked like. The V-Ride is very ideal for my residential account simply because I can get the 36 inch and that will allow me to get into those small gates. I can maneuver in and out of obstacles around trees, tight corners. This would be very ideal for me, and this is more than likely this is the mower that I'll be going with. I like that the V-Ride can be used as a walk behind. The bulk of my accounts are residential, and a lot of my clients don't want zero turns on their property. This way my customers are happy and I still get to cover a lot of ground quickly. I like that this machine is very compact. I have very limited storage area, and I can put multiple machines like this in that storage area.
One thing I want to point out too when servicing this machine is you can raise your deck lid here, and pretty much you can service you can grease every one of your grease points on this Tiger Cat 2 from this position. You've got your 3 Alamites here on your spindles. Of course, where the cutouts are, that's where your Alamite is on all 3 of them. You can get your back ones, you can get your sides without having to walk all the way around the machine to do your service. And then that just folds down and sits like that. Also, we've added these rubber grommets right here. If you get on some mowers, you'll hear a bunch of rattling and noise and just sound like it's coming apart. Well, we've added those to help to eliminate that noise.
Okay.
Of course, the seat's adjustable, and
What is this right here?
you dial that in to your weight. Of course, right there it's set on about 200, 210.
Okay.
But you adjust it to whatever your weight is, and it decides how soft and how stiff that needs to be.
Oh, okay.
It helps with the ride.
Okay. That's cool. Yeah, one thing I've noticed is that you don't have any, look, that tall little thin grass that stands up. I noticed that when it run over it, it just cut it down. I didn't have any stragglers.
Yep, that's part of the Velocity Plus deck. You've got a baffle system in there, which helps the grass stand up and get you a cleaner cut, along with the extra wide discharge chute, which helps get rid of the debris or the clippings and throws it out.
Yeah,
What that slope nose with the baffle system that's adjustable, what that does, it helps eliminate the wiry standing up grass to where it makes a cut. And
that's a big deal in lawn care, because most of the yards that I do have that type of grass in it, and I usually have to cut it twice to actually,
With the Scag Velocity deck, that helps virtually almost eliminate it. I don't know what kind of shot you could get, but the baffle system in there is adjustable. And with that baffle system, it just lets it hold the volume of grass, it just discharges it better, and it lets the other grass stand up and get you a cleaner cut.
Okay.